What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. David here. We're going to be taking a look at Meta AI. So Meta Connect was an event that just happened recently. Obviously, I wasn't there, but we're going to be watching somebody, Matt Wolf. I really like his channel. If you haven't watched Matt Wolf, he does a lot of AI tools and stuff in the tech space, and it's one of the kind of the heartbeats of everything going on in AI. He's has a platform that shows tools and things like that. So yeah, I've been watching him since about around the time ChatGPT first launched. So just been kind of keeping up with different AI stuff. But I've been doing AI for a long time. If you know me, I've talked about AI for a long time. Really started messing with it like in 2016 maybe, and just been following what's going on. Obviously, there's been a lot more going on now with everything going on with the large language models and image creators, video generators, all these things. So I thought it would be fun just to see what's going on with Meta, because I've used a lot of tools, and it's really cool to see these big social platforms putting some creativity tools in the platform for the users. So, which YouTube is releasing a lot of new tools as well inside the platform, like AI tools to help you build channel plans and video ideas and things like that. So it's just cool to see that. It's going to be a lot easier to generate ideas if you're not good at editing or drawing or just creating videos, images and things like that. So it's going to be cool to see what people create and how this kind of stuff is going to change the world. Obviously, there's a lot of people that hate it, a lot of people that love it, but at the same time, it's not really just going to go away. So I feel like it's good to keep up on with this stuff and see what's going on, because there's a lot more opportunity now to generate income for, say, like online than there was when I first started affiliate marketing 10 years ago. And so there's a lot more opportunity. So it's fun to see that. So anyway, Matt Wolf here. We're going to take a look at his video and just kind of go over things as we go through it, and just kind of I'll share my thoughts. We'll just get it started.
It was the Meta Connect event, and I got to be here in person and demo a lot of the cool stuff that they showed off. We got updates on the Meta Quest 3. We got updates on the Ray-Ban glasses. We got a new model of Llama. We got a really cool new AI speaker tool that was shown off by my good buddy Don Allen Stevenson. There were so many cool announcements, but probably the biggest showstopper of the entire event is what Meta was calling Project Orion, which is an augmented.
Yeah, and I haven't tried any of the glasses from Meta. I'd be interested to try them. And I never got the Apple, goggles. I didn't really care. I thought that was ridiculous price for that. So I like what Meta's doing with these price points. Like I think the Ray-Bans are what, $399, $599 or something like that. But it's cool to see what they're doing.
Reality set of glasses.
Price-wise is what I mean.
That looked really, really impressive. So let's go ahead and do a breakdown of the event and dive into all of the cool announcements. And specifically, I'm going to focus on most of the AI announcements because that's what you probably watch this channel for. But I will quickly give you the overview of kind of everything they talked about. Now, the first major announcement they talked about is the new Meta Quest 3S. For the most part, it's pretty much the same thing as the Meta Quest 3, but they changed the hardware specs a little bit to make it less expensive. The Meta Quest 3 is still out there at $500. This new version,
way cheaper than Apple, right? And from what I've seen, very similar in everything it does. So
is as low as $300.
Hopefully Apple can come down on their price, because that's
I actually did get to play around with the Meta Quest 3S, and when using it, it seemed just as good as the Meta Quest 3 that I have at home. They showed off this desktop feature that looked very similar to what they showed off with the Apple Vision Pro. So you can hook it up to your PC and then have a 360 degree.
Yeah, and for what I've seen from the Apple Vision, or what are they called? I can't remember what they're called. The Apple goggles. It looks very similar. This almost looks like a better layout, but
free desktop and put apps all around you and look around at the apps while you're using it. Very similar to what the Apple Vision Pro promised, but $3,200 cheaper than the Apple Vision Pro. Obviously, this is for PC. Apple Vision Pro is if you're using an Apple system. You could be watching videos while playing Spotify, while having a messaging app open, and just sort of multitask all around you. Now, this is something that the Apple Vision Pro promised to do. I've used it. I know a lot of people that have used the Apple Vision Pro in that way. Almost
Apple Vision Pro. That's what. Yeah.
Nobody that I know, including myself, is still using that. I'm not sure a lot of people really want to have a headset on all day while trying to get work done, but it is a cool feature nonetheless, and I can see some people really enjoying this environment. They also upgraded the audio with Dolby Atmos.
One thing I've had an issue too with, I don't know if any of you guys that have done marketing online for a long time, just working on your computer, eye problems and headaches and stuff like that. Obviously blue light. So, it's good I should be wearing blue light glasses, but something that definitely helps. On this screen that I have in here, it doesn't really bother me too much. But if I'm on my laptop too long, I start to get headaches.
Again, I tested it. It sounded really good. Supposedly, you can activate it by just looking at a Windows keyboard. It will recognize that you're trying to use it with a computer and then put the screen up in front of you. Haven't seen this feature, haven't actually tested this myself, but that's pretty cool as well. I did actually get to demo this Batman Arkham Shadow game when I was testing it, and I'll be honest, this game was really fun. I didn't want to stop playing it when I was demoing it. I think they slotted out a 30-minute demo for me to test this Meta Quest 3, and I ended up demoing it for about 47 minutes. I know, because that's how long my B-roll is of me recording myself playing with this. All right, now moving into the AI news here. Meta had a lot of AI announcements. I mean, the majority of the presentation was AI announcements, starting with some new features inside of Meta AI using their new Llama 3.2. They actually showed off the features of the new Meta AI platform before they talked about Llama 3.2. But now inside of Meta AI, it's completely multimodal. So you can actually
See, and this is the part I'm interested about, because, a lot of these apps that we've paid for that do this for a long time, I feel like a lot of those apps paved a way, and then these bigger platforms or these companies have people that left to go work for places like Facebook and stuff to help build these things into the platform. But it's interesting to see these little tools that you pay for separately that are just kind of coming all into one social network that helps you just get work done really fast. Just instead, you don't have to move things around, like an image from here to make a video here, and then all this stuff. It's all kind of being put into one.
Load images, and it can understand both text and images now. Something that we've gotten the ability to do inside of Claude and ChatGPT and Gemini and all the other platforms, but now we have this open source model with Llama 3.2 that is also multimodal, that can understand images, and it's being built into Meta AI. And the example that Zuck gave here was he uploaded a picture of himself jumping, and he said, change the shoes to neon roller skates. It gave him the neon roller skates. He said, add blue knee pads and a silver helmet, and you can see here that it went and added the knee pads and the helmet. Make the shirt tie-dye. It went and changed his shirt to a tie-dye. So not only is it multimodal where it understands the image, you can actually tweak and mess around with the images right inside of Meta AI with this new rollout. And this I found really interesting. It makes sense why this week is the week that OpenAI rolled out their advanced voice assistant. Maybe they knew this was coming from Meta. Meta rolled out the new AI voice mode inside of their chat apps as well.
We're adding natural voice interactions to Meta AI, and you don't have to wait a while. We're rolling this out today and over the next few days.
But not only did they roll out voice,
I'm wondering though if OpenAI got the word, because they just literally launched it 2 days ago, and I think this event was 2 days ago. So I don't know.
They decided to roll out voice with celebrity voices, and unlike Scarlett Johansson, these actors actually gave their permission to give their voice to these AIs. We have
that's great.
John
I think that's
Cena
awesome.
And Judi Dench and Kristen Bell and Michael.
If they wanted, if they're paying these people for a voice, then I think that's cool. It's just more branding for them, and I think it's a cool tool. And getting the consent obviously is important, because you're going to want all these people to know. So it'll be interesting to see what other voices start showing
Keegan
up.
Key and Aquafina are all going to be voices inside of this new voice model. And of course, they had to demo it live. So this is actually a live demo here of Mark Zuckerberg showing off the new voice feature. So let's take a look real quick.
Hey,
It makes me so mad that billionaires pay less in taxes than I do. And Trump wants to give them even more breaks. Kamala Harris will cut taxes for working.
Sorry about that. Come on.
Live demos can be risky, yes. They can be unpredictable, prone to technical issues, and potentially embarrassing. However, they can also be engaging,
all right,
memorable.
but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Go for it. Just be prepared for anything to happen. Fingers crossed.
And that was Aquafina's voice that we were hearing there. Now, this feature I also thought was really, really cool, and I was super excited to see this because a good buddy of mine, Don Allen Stevenson III, was the person who actually got to go on stage and give this demo with Zuckerberg. I was so excited for him to see him on stage giving this demo, but
On the voice thing, have any of you guys tested that with two phones when you get them to talk to each other? I tried it with the old voice model on ChatGPT and it worked pretty good, but I haven't tried it with the new voice model. So I'm gonna have to give that a shot. You can get them to communicate, have conversation, do a podcast together.
you can actually create your own AI sort of clone inside of Meta that's trained on the information that you gave it through Threads and Instagram and Facebook and all of your Meta tools. Here's what that looked like.
Congrats on the new book that you just released. What's the main thing that you're hoping that people take away from it?
Thank you so much. Yeah, the main thing I want people to take away from my book is the idea that you have the power to create your own opportunities by combining curiosity, adaptability, and resilience in a rapidly evolving digital world.
I saw a video of the...
And that's pretty cool, right? Like to have, say you have customers that want to talk to you or just people that want to know something about you. So it'd be interesting to see how that rolls out and what type of access of information, I guess, that they have.
Epic outdoor standing desk that you wrote the book at. Is being in nature and standing desk important for your creative process?
Being in nature and using a standing desk is crucial for my creative process. It helps me think more clearly and come up with my best ideas. I'm way more creative and focused when I'm outdoors.
So that is super, super cool. Now we can do that with things like HeyGen already. They have a feature that'll do that. There's another company called Delphi that does something very...
Yeah, and then Studio DID is the one I pay for to do that. And, I've been paying for that one for well over a year now. And now these types of things are just kind of rolling out into these platforms. So I think it's really cool.
Very similar. I believe DID does that. But seeing this inside of like Instagram and Facebook and the Meta suite of tools is just going to make that stuff so much more mainstream. So people like me, you can go and chat with my virtual Matt Wolf that's trained on all of the sort of AI content that I've published and ask me questions about AI. That's going to be super fun.
Yeah, see, that's going to be fun because there's a lot of knowledge people have or like things I've learned and stuff that'll be fun to be able to just push that into a model like this for a face to go along with it live speaking. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I can't wait to play with that. So that's a feature that it's not out yet, but they're going to be rolling out soon. And again, couldn't be more excited for my buddy Don Allen, who got to actually demo this on stage. Meta is also rolling out AI translation. So if you're a content creator and you make content for things like Reels on Instagram, you can actually now localize it to a whole bunch of different countries by automatically changing the language, and it will actually lip sync to the new language.
De coco, banana y dulce de leche. Esta receta fue una de las primeras que subí a las redes. Hace poquito la volví a descubrir y le hice un par de modificaciones para que sea aún.
And I know like YouTube, I believe, does that, obviously, right? So like if your video is in another country, it translates it live using, I guess, AI and stuff now. So that's cool. This is great for any creator, right? It's just more reach.
Aún más deliciosa. With coconut, banana, and dulce de leche. This recipe was one of the first.
And I like how it uses your voice, right? Like, what is it? 11 Labs, been another tool that I've paid for a long time. And it does translation. You can throw a YouTube link in there and it'll translate it all to a different language. I would do that a lot and just download the video and then repost it in a different language, just on a channel or something, and you could get views doing that, just translating videos. So that's, so this is all going to be happening in real time. Awesome.
First ones I uploaded to social media. A little while ago, I rediscovered it and made a couple of modifications to make it even more delicious.
So that looks super cool as well. Now, none of this is sponsored by Meta. I just have to let you know,
Sure.
I am genuinely excited to see this stuff.
No, I'm excited.
When I was there in person, this was kind of blowing my mind. Now, I have seen tools like this before. This all exists in other products like HeyGen, like DID, like Synthesia, products like that. But having this built into something like Instagram, where I can just go and upload my reel into Instagram and then have Instagram do that localization and dubbing for me so that it can get pushed out to other countries, that is going to be so cool
Big
to get
time.
that additional reach.
Yep.
And then after they showed off all this stuff with Meta AI, then they started to go into some more details about the new Llama 3.2 model, which, as we already saw, is a multimodal model, meaning that you can give it text or you can give it images and it can understand what's going on.
I love the
on
image
either
stuff.
one
Like,
of
Vision
them.
is
They're
so
releasing
good
a
for
90 billion parameter model and an 11 billion parameter model. And we
ChatGPT
can see
even was
examples
really
here,
good.
like where it says the prompt is, which path to the lake is less steep? It looks at the image, gives a response explaining which path is less steep.
That's
and
pretty
because
wild.
this is open source, you can actually install this locally on your own machine, not be connected to the internet, and it's not going to send data any.
And that's big for especially businesses, right? Like if you want business information or your strategies or what you're doing, and you don't want people to see that or upload it all to, these online platforms, then
Where. So for those people, and this is a question I get asked very often about large language models, is if I want to make sure my data is not going to any of these big tech companies
Yeah.
and they're not training on anything I'm asking it, how do I do that?
Right.
The
Yeah.
answer is use one of these open source models and run it locally on your own computer. And now Llama 3.2, you can do that with a multimodal model. And then we can see here actually.
And I don't think it's a huge issue. I use these like ChatGPT and Claude and things like this all the time to come up with ideas and business stuff. So coding things, I've done a lot of coding with them, but it's incredible. Like if you're going to be able to put that right on your phone, that's amazing. Especially that it's not connected to the internet, so that you can just use
running
it
on a
anytime.
mobile device, and this is running locally on the device. This
Yeah.
isn't using a online service to actually give this back. This is on device inference. So they asked the question,
Incredible.
and the
It's
large
cool.
language model is just running inside the phone. It didn't have to send it off to like a Meta server somewhere where they can capture that data. It's all just
wild.
staying in the phone. Then they moved on to start talking about the Meta Ray-Bans, which quite honestly is probably my favorite product that Meta has put out in a long time. I've sort of sang the praise of them quite a bit. Never been sponsored by Meta on these glasses. I just use them myself and really like them. I think the camera's great. I think the audio on them is really great, but they just rolled out some new features. It's going to get the new Llama 3.2 model. There's also a ton of features that we haven't seen yet in the glasses. This was another thing that I actually got to demo here at Meta Connect. And let's run through some of the cool new features of these glasses real quick.
Pretty soon, you're going to be able to control Spotify and Amazon Music with voice alone. We are also adding new app integrations from Audible and iHeartRadio so that you can easily access more and more content from the glasses. We're making it more natural and conversational. So now, instead of having to say, look and tell me when you want to use the camera
Cool.
or use multimodal AI, you're just going to be able to say, hey, Meta.
Let me know if
what
you
kind
guys
of
have
smoothie
this.
Can I make with these? And instead of having to keep
I don't have the Ray-Ban Metas. It'd be interesting to test them out, especially the new ones.
saying, hey, Meta, every time you want to talk to it, you're just going to be able to keep the conversation going.
Yeah, in the past, if you wanted to actually get information about what you were looking at, you actually had to tell your glasses, hey Meta, look at this and tell me what I'm seeing. Now you can just say, hey Meta, what is this? And it knows that you want it to look at whatever is in front of the glasses to give the answer. And instead of having to say, hey, Meta, over and over again, once you sort of go into this conversation mode, you just keep on talking with it without having to say, hey, Meta, over and over again. That's just a nice, simple quality of life upgrade that makes it easier to feel more conversational with the glasses. One of the other things that I thought was really, really cool about these glasses.
That's why I always hated that kind of stuff before, because you'd test it out. It would take longer to do something. It just wasn't helpful, right? It would take you 20 minutes to get it to do what you needed it to do that would just normally take you 5 minutes.
Is they've added the ability to remember things for you. Now, when I did the demo, they had me tell the glasses like, hey Meta, remind me in 10 minutes to go change the laundry. Hey Meta, remind me in 15 minutes that this event is starting. And the glasses would remember that, and in the time that you asked it, it would then remind you those things. That seems...
And I heard about this, and I was thinking, this is going to be huge, this feature, because like I have, friends and family like in the medical field and there's been things that have happened that I've heard stories about where people, like a nurse will give somebody a wrong pill. So it's like now maybe at some point the glasses will need to be worn by nurses or something to make sure it's seeing like, hey, that maybe the glasses at some point could be like, hey, you gave this person a pill this long ago, it's time to give them their next pill. Or you go to the wrong room because you overworked, give this person the wrong pill, and it's like, hey, that's the wrong person, then you can correct yourself. Or the timer thing, if you need to remember 5 different things going on at one time, maybe you can use that to kind of organize your thoughts. So super cool.
Really, really helpful to me. It also can do that with the image capability of these glasses. So in this...
And not only that, but in the trade space, right? Like I used to work in trades, HVAC, electrician, all those things are going to be, this will be really helpful because when you're trying to fix, say, like a furnace or something, it might be able to know what's going on. Because a lot of times you wouldn't know, maybe an old brand or something, you had to kind of figure things out. And a lot of this was before I had a phone that I could just YouTube a fix, right? Like you actually had like manuals and stuff you had to look at. So now maybe it'll recognize this piece or this symptom or this flashing code on the furnace and be like, hey, this is the issue. This is how to fix it.
Example, it says, hey Meta, remember where I parked? And you can see they parked in spot 9702. So now, later on in the day, when they're going and looking for their car, they can go, hey Meta, where did I park again? And it will tell you, you parked in slot 9702. Or you could just look at the Meta app on your phone and see the image again, whatever works best for you. That memory feature seems like a really, really helpful feature to have on those glasses. One thing I'd like to try, I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but this is something that I think would be really, really cool with these glasses, is if I meet somebody in real life, I can say, hey Meta, remember that this is Don Allen Stevenson, or something like that, right? And then next time I see that person in the distance, I can maybe go, hey Meta, what was that person's name again? And then it can remind me. I don't know if it's going to be able to do that or not. That's just something I really wish I could see, because I meet so many people now that I really, really struggle to remember people's names until I've met them 2 or 3 times. It's getting pretty bad, honestly. It can now scan QR codes for you, so you can look at a picture with a QR code and say, hey Meta, scan this QR code. And if you bust out your phone, it'll just open up the web browser to whatever the QR code was supposed to open to. They're also adding in live translation, so somebody can be speaking to you in a different language. The glasses are going to hear it,
That's big.
and then in your ears repeat back in your desired language. So somebody could speak to me in Spanish, and then in my ears it will repeat back what they just said to me.
I know all this stuff's been around like on your phone, but it's just cool that it could be just some glasses, right? And they don't look like a big set of goggles.
But in English. They actually demoed this as well, so check this out.
Hey, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo está tu rodilla? ¿Has vuelto a entrenar?
Hey, how are you? How is your knee back training?
Doing well. Knee is doing well. It feels strong. I'm ramping up training. How are you doing? Are you getting ready for your next fight?
Haciendo bien. La rodilla está haciendo bien y sentirse fuerte. Estoy aumentando el entrenamiento. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Te estás preparando para tu próxima pelea?
Sí.
It's kind of funny too if you just imagine 2 people like communicating like that in public.
Estoy listo.
Awesome.
Let me show you how we do stuff around here. Actually, my department uses Monday.com, so I'm good.
Yes, I am ready.
So that could be really cool, especially if you're both wearing glasses like they did in the demo. If two people are having a conversation with the glasses, then you're both sort of hearing the translated version in each other's heads. Now, if I'm wearing the glasses and the person I'm talking to is not, you would use like the companion app. And so I would say something in English, hold up the phone next to the person, and then they would hear it translated into Spanish coming out of the phone. They would respond, my glasses would hear it, translate it to English.
I don't know if they've said this yet, but if it's like the bone conductor or whatever that technology is called so you can't really hear the sound outside. I don't know if how those work. It's just like a loudspeaker.
So it still works even if the other person doesn't have the glasses, but if you're both wearing the glasses, then it's really cool. They also rolled out a new limited edition version of the glasses where you could see through them and see all of the electronics inside of the glasses. They're pretty cool. They're limited. I actually managed to get my hands on a pair. I don't think I'm going to be able to show them off on camera. My camera's not going to focus on them, but they are pretty dang cool looking, where you can actually see all of the internal electronics inside of the glasses. So again, the Meta Ray-Ban glasses, I now own 2 pairs of them, the limited edition see-through ones and then the ones that I've had forever. Honestly, still my favorite thing Meta has done in a while, but they are working on something really cool. I mentioned at the beginning, Project Orion, their augmented reality glasses. They made a big deal about it. The dude walked in with a briefcase chained to his arm, pulled out the glasses to hand them to Mark Zuckerberg, and then they showed them off. And I mean, this is what they look like right here. These are fairly normal looking glasses. I mean, they're a little bit chunky, and you can see that when the person looks around, you can see the like sort of glare of what's going on inside of the screen. But these glasses have AI built into them. They have cameras built into them. They have speakers built into them. They have a heads-up display built into them. You can watch videos on them. Basically, the sort of holy grail of glasses. I don't know if you've ever watched my older video where I talked about the ideal pair of glasses would be something that combines what you get in these Ray-Ban Meta glasses with what you get in the X-Real Air glasses.
Yeah.
The X-Real Air glasses sort of have that heads-up display where you could watch videos in front of you. These glasses have the AI, the camera, all of that stuff in it. Merge those together, you have something really awesome. That's what these are, but this is a new technology. This is like the way they described it. It's like bending light in a new way to make a projection on the glass in front of you. It's not like a screen sitting in front of your eye like most augmented reality type glasses are right now. This is like normal glasses.
And there is that video, my wife always talks about it when she hears me watching these videos, the glasses and stuff, just how AI, it's like this, there's a TV show where, I can't remember what it's called, but the person has these glasses just like this, and they have basically a relationship, this person and the person in the glasses, the AI, and yeah, interesting. But it's all coming into reality, yeah.
With these reflections on the glasses showing you what you're seeing in the heads-up display. They're pretty crazy technology. But we can see here, this is kind of what you see when you're looking at them. You can see messages, you can see, they have like a pie chart on the screen and you can see right through it. They did a demo where they looked at a bunch of foods and said, oh, make me a smoothie recipe with the ingredients that I'm looking at. And it recognized all of the things in front of them.
Little hovering name tags above them too.
And then in the little display there, actually made a recipe for them to make that smoothie out of. They demoed having like a voice call with somebody in like a sort of disembodied head. They showed playing like a Pong game where you're playing across from somebody and you're bouncing a ball back and forth with each other. You can control it with voice controls.
It's like a
they actually have eye tracking. They have hand tracking.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
They also have what they're calling a wrist-based neural interface where you're wearing this wristband and the glasses don't even have to see your wrists. You can actually make little hand motions, like you go like this to scroll, but you can have your hand behind you and the wristband is recognizing the little like movements in your arm to control what you're seeing. They showed off watching videos on here. I got to see a bunch
And that's pretty wild because that's actually picking up, I think I don't know how that works. What is it? If there's some type of, what do you say, like ECG or I'd heard about this, but basically can see like the electronic pulses or something that make things move and all the tendons and stuff. I don't know.
My buddies actually demo it, and they showed their first
done with that
reactions
stuff.
of it.
I have
Here's
no idea.
Don Allen Stevenson trying them, Roberto Nixon trying them on, Kane Calloway trying them on. All of these guys tried them on, and they got their sort of first reaction on video, and everybody was sort of blown away by what they were seeing from these glasses. Now, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to actually see these anytime super soon in our hands. Rumors
Yeah, they
have it
definitely
that
like prototype.
it's going to be around 2027 before these are actually ready for consumers to
Yeah.
buy. The problem is right now, the technology in it is so advanced that they're insanely expensive to build. So they've only made around.
And I can't even imagine, like, to make them that small, and the new lens that's in there that bends light or however it does to project the images, it's probably way more than, it would probably cost way more than the Apple Vision Plus.
Around 1,000 of them so far for like demo purposes and for developer purposes. So it's still a little ways off. We still got like a year and a half probably before we actually see something like this
That's still
go
pretty
to
quick.
the actual consumer level where the price point is down enough where people will actually want to buy it. I don't think they want to have like an Apple Vision Pro scenario where they got to sell them for $3,500 just to
exactly.
have a pair of these glasses. They
Doesn't
look
make sense,
really,
especially
really
now you
cool,
can
and I'm
watch
excited about them,
TV,
and I
like
can't wait to get my hands
YouTube.
on them. But we still kind of have a ways to go before we actually get to play with them. They then moved on to the developer portion of the keynote where they were specifically talking to developers and what they can expect in building apps for the Meta Quest, for potentially building apps for the glasses and things like that. But there were some really actually cool things during the developer presentation as well that I was excited to see, because it sort of, I hate this word, but it democratizes some of the development, because they're making it easier and easier to develop stuff for their platforms because they're actually adding AI into the development process.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that excited me about the developer portion. For example,
that's
they
super
showed
crazy.
off as part of the development process that you can use AI to create assets that you would put inside of your virtual reality games. So check this out.
AI will unlock the next phase of this development. For world builders, we're already developing Gen AI tools like this. Here, the creator has asked AI to model a generator, animate it to shake, and paint it yellow over rusted metal. All of it just by typing what she wants to make in the creator
Yeah,
tool.
this is
AI
crazy.
tools will help streamline things like
And this is the kind of stuff I'm super excited about, just the creating things like this, like a world or, you know, a game with, you know, just all the creativity. Music videos is what I like to do too. I've been doing cinematic stuff with text to video and just messing around with a lot of the video stuff and coding and creating websites, and it's just wild that you can just prompt stuff.
like layout, texturing, scripting, sound effects creation.
Do not pay somebody to
Come on.
build you a Shopify store, because
Why?
I'm going to do it free with 20
I'll do it
handpicked
for free,
products
too.
by myself and my expert.
So
I
that was
actually
probably my
do
favorite part
that
of the
for
developer
free, by
keynote,
the way.
right?
If you-
I
I'm
love
a
the
Shopify
AI
partner,
stuff.
by the way. So if you need a Shopify store, mid-roll ad here for you, get a hold of me.
I love stuff that makes it easier for normal people who don't know how to code virtual reality worlds to actually build stuff in these virtual reality worlds. Like, I can see myself maybe building a sort of mocked up world
Yeah,
with cool
exactly.
items throughout that world using these AI tools. Like, it's going to get to a point where I can create that environment myself with
Yeah.
AI. And that's what's really
And
exciting.
it's going to be cool to see other people, right? Like, because I couldn't build a 3D world. Like, I was into learning that when I was younger, but I never went through the full process of actually 3D animation, right? And CGI and all that stuff. It's very complicated. Now we're going to be able to see people just imagining whatever they want and being able to create things. So I think it's cool artistically.
Exciting to me. They showed off some other features like being able to customize your avatars in Horizon Worlds more. And once again, a lot of it is going to be using AI. So if you want to create a character, you can now actually describe it with AI.
And later in 2025, users will be able to generate a completely new avatar by using our AI-powered editor, by just describing what they want. And we know you will want to also control the capabilities and the types of avatars that show up in your worlds. So this is going to be a great way for avatars to be able to adjust to the
Interesting.
environment just as the user is jumping into
It's one of those
the world.
things. Yeah,
So
I mean, it's
that
going to be
is
interesting to see
also
how that
super
pans out.
cool. And pretty much everything that they're building over at Meta, specifically related to AI, they're trying to build as open source so that others can grab it, iterate off of it, build off of it, make it better,
Yeah,
and
I like
find
that.
really, really cool and powerful use cases for it. Now, they did get into a lot more like technical stuff and in the weeds that's sort of over my head because I'm not personally much of a developer, but those were my big takeaways from Meta Connect event.
Yeah, so that's
I was
about it for the
honestly
video.
pretty blown
Let me know
away.
what you guys think down below, though, because I'm excited. I'm more excited than ever. There's so many things I got going on. I can't even focus some days. Like I'm more excited. I'm about as excited now as when I first got onto the internet when the internet first came out. Like that's the level of excitement I am with just all these tools popping up and all these ways to create and make money or just put things out that you want to put out that you could never do before. So yeah. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for stopping by. Hit the subscribe button. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Drop some comments. Let me know what tools you guys are using, what stuff you're interested in creating, what you're excited about. If you're not excited, drop your thoughts. Cheers. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.